Sometimes I get comments on the YouTube pages that are pretty cool. I mean, they're always welcome. But here's one. Big Smoke wrote, I don't want to be that guy, but if you would take a look at Grassroots 406 on Etsy, I just want to know if I'm even going in the right direction. Man, can I relate? When I was first starting out in the print-on-demand world, it was like, what am I doing? Do I even have any concept of what's going on? So I'm going to check out Grassroots 406 on Etsy. 4 sales so far, which is great. I'm going to break this down from a customer's perspective, and hopefully that will be helpful for anybody who's got a brand new store either on Etsy or merch, Redbubble, TeePublic, anywhere in the print-on-demand universe. Okay, so I'm in my old stomping grounds here, which is Etsy, and we can see Grassroots 406 has got 4 sales. So what does a customer see when they first log into Etsy? Now look, I'm not going to speak on behalf of all of humanity, but what I will say is typically when a consumer logs into Etsy, they're looking up a specific product first. So they would type in something like, for example, funny t-shirt, and then they would look through the results, they'd find a result, and then that would take them to their store. So for these all look pretty good as far as thumbnails go, because that's what's going to actually drive like traffic to your store. Most people are going to be looking up a specific type of t-shirt, and then they'll go, oh, okay, that sounds good. And then they'll click on the name of your store. So the first thing you can do is try like crazy to get up above, say, 25 sales. When somebody sees 4 sales, most of the time the customer's going to get a bit discouraged. They're going to go, oh, this is a new store, or maybe this person's not really serious. Like it's not fair. I'm not saying the customer should feel that way, but that's psychology of buying. So I've got another example here. This is a different store, I just pulled this at random, right? So here we've got Creative Ink Designs, 107 sales. They've got a massive banner at the start. It's all dad stuff, Father's Day. This just like instantly gets a customer excited. Again, it's not fair. I'm not suggesting these designs are any better or any worse than anyone else's. It's just the idea of the storefront is something that you can control, and then you can kind of mimic this sort of thing as well. And this isn't necessarily like a hugely established store. They've got 107 sales, which is fine. But it's not like they've got 100,000 sales, right? They've got 100 sales. And so they've got this really nice thumbnail. So my first piece of advice is for you is to get that thumbnail up on the top. It's called a banner. And so you'd want to just like Google Etsy banner, and then you'd want to create something. And then you'd want to have that looking similar to something like this: multiple pictures, multiple mock-ups. These are all just mock-ups, right? So you can just get mock-ups done. You can do like, this guy's got 5. You could do 10 mock-ups, for example. Here they've got hurry, hurry. It's like what they call a call to action. So they've got a coupon here, but you could have something, you could change this out every 2 or 3 months, even every month. And you could have like a sale of the month, or, July 4th weekend is coming up, Canada Day, like whatever it is, right? Depending on where you're located. They've got a bunch of different, and again, I just picked this guy at random, so I hope you don't think I'm like, this is the greatest store in the world. I'm just picking him at random because he's not like a 20-year established store, right? So it's something that you can you want to shoot for somebody who's just a little farther ahead on the hiking trail than you are. So imagine you're hiking and somebody is like 40 feet ahead of you. That's the guy you focus on. So this could just, as an example, be a store that you would be focusing on. So see, this guy's got 174 items, and they've got different sections set up. You'd want to do something similar, right? Here you've just got all, which is 32. So you'd want to set up collections in Etsy as well, and then move these into collections. Again, I'm not saying you have to do this. It's just if you want to know how to take your store from a decent collection of decent designs to the next level, this is what you do. You set up a banner, you set up collections along the left, you'd have featured items at the top, and then you'd have some sort of, like you can put an announcement into the little box in Etsy as well. And the announcement doesn't have to be anything negative. It doesn't have to be like, oh my goodness, the pandemic is killing us. It could be more like, hey, welcome to my shop, and we're a home-based business, or, me and my wife set up shop, or, me and my spouse are, doing whatever. Like, you can make it personable. That's what I used to do with my announcements. I would just talk about me. And so the idea with Etsy in an ideal setting is that somebody's not just buying the shirt, they're buying the shirt from you. And so you can really play that up as well. So like right here, for example, there's this little contact button, but I don't know who you are as a customer, right? Like obviously you put a note in the YouTube channel. Obviously I know who you are, but if I'm just a customer, I wouldn't necessarily know. So you'd want to have, hi, my name's, whatever, and me and my spouse do this. And, you'd want to like try to make it as personable as possible. As far as the designs go, there's nothing wrong with the designs themselves. They look pretty standard. What I would suggest is there's no real unified theme to your store. So you'd probably want to think about that and say, okay, again, I don't want to say this is the only way to do it because I know how YouTube works and somebody out there is thinking, hey, wait a minute, I did it differently. That's great. I'm not saying it's the only way, but one way you may want to think about getting more sales would be to theme your store. So pick, you've got 4 sales, right? So I would suggest take a look at what's sold and then make more of those. Because it looks to me like these are all just randomized designs that don't really have a common theme. So for example, this is a sloth. This is text. This is a dog design. This is nature. This is patriotic. So they're all different, right? So again, I'll go back to our store that we were kind of looking at just as a base, like a baseline of the guy who's kind of hiking out in front of you. So like this guy's got like Father's Day sales, and then they've got featured designs with a lot of Father's Day stuff, beards, fishing, dads. So what happens is from a buying psychology perspective, when I go to this store, I instantly get excited because I go, oh, this is the Father's Day store, or this is the man store. Now, I'm not saying that that's true. I'm just saying that that's the impression I get. It's like a decor when you first walk into a store, right? So here they've got a lot of shirts that are similar. I can see the word dad, fix it, dad life, feel great dad, dads are cooler, hooker on the weekend, which is fishing, dads. So within the space of like 3 seconds, I now have an idea that this is the dad store. So, okay, I'll remember that for grandpa. I'll remember that for my dad. And if I'm looking up a design, because these are all the same, I'm now going to probably favorite the store. I'm going to go, okay, well, I know where to go now if I need fishing designs. Click. I know where to go now if I have like beard or dad, Father's Day designs. Click. So that's the idea behind the branding of the store. And we can't really do that with your store yet because I don't know what the store is. There's no brand on it. There's no theme on it. So there's no real reason for a person. Now you've got one admirer, which is great, but there's no reason for somebody to favorite the store itself because nobody knows what the store is. So just a couple tips and tricks there for you to get started on your Etsy journey. The actual products themselves look fine. I don't have an issue with the actual products. The thumbnails all look fine. It's more, I wanted to take a moment to kind of give you feedback more on the concept of the store itself. Etsy's a little more store driven than say a Redbubble or a TeePublic, because when you go on Etsy, you're going to individual shops inside of Etsy. So there's a lot of people that will become loyal to you because they know you're a human being actually shipping the shirt. Now, look, we all know you're using a drop shipper, but the customer service piece of it is coming from you. So you have control over sending a personalized thank you to the client, having a label or a thank you gift or an email saying thank you, making shirt requests, getting back to emails about questions, that sort of thing you have control over on Etsy. So anyway, I hope you found that helpful. A few tips and tricks there for you to get off and running. Just so you know, like if you're shooting for like how many shirts should I have? So for example, like this guy's got 174 shirts up and he's got 107 sales. So you don't need like thousands of designs in order to make some consistent sales. So you're on the right track for sure because you've already got 32. So if you can shoot for around say 100, you'll have no trouble getting up to 20 or 25 sales. And then from there, especially if they're themed, you'll find that people are going to start admiring and following your shop. So I hope you guys found that helpful. As always, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Feel free to leave me a comment or a question. And, feel free to throw your opinion down on the store as well. This is a nice big community, and I'm really happy with how positive the comments are on this YouTube channel. I'm actually really, I don't want to say pleasantly surprised because it makes me sound like a grouchy old man, but I want to say thank you because I find that most artists are very supportive of each other as well. So if you guys have any ideas or support or comments, feel free to throw them in the description down below, and hopefully we can help Grassroots 406 get off and running, and it looks like they're off to a great start already. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care.